Hi guys, thanks a lot for joining us again this week for In For You. This is recorded over at blab.im/ATW networking. We do this show every week, technology and travel permitting, where we get somebody into the hot seat, answer business questions and give advice around how you can shape your business advertising and marketing. Every week I'm joined by the awesome Stephen Caggiano and the lovely community manager of ours, Christy Martin, who normally hides in the chat and does a great job of reminding people things. This week we've got my mum, Lynn, up in the corner here as well, joining us from the Isle of Wight. And one of our members at All Things Networking, we've got Mark Elliott from Isle of Wight Karate, who will be walking through the steps today. So guys, this show's normally about half an hour, 45 minutes. We try to go as quickly as possible, so there's a lot of information. So if you're listening from the side, make sure you have a pen and paper ready. Mark, I'll be giving you some notes afterwards, so just concentrate on going through the steps as we do them, and then I'll follow up with an email for you afterwards, so that you can, if there's anything you missed, you'll be able to read through that and also come back and watch the show back in case there's anything that's a little bit complicated. So I guess I kick off with the organic side because that's always a good place to start. Everybody likes starting with not having to pay for things. So Mark and I have had a chat already on the phone this week around the concept of, in fact, Stephen backed it up before I said it, in the fact that taking lots of pictures and driving organic reach. So pictures and videos and stuff of successful students at the karate classes, and even just explainer videos, short 20-30 second videos that means you can have a lot of content rolling out throughout the week. So I'm basically, that's kind of where you start the ball rolling with the organic side. Once you start that, basically the way that works for anyone, I'm going to re-explain it here, Mark, just for everybody who's watching, is that obviously as you put pictures onto Facebook, let's say Mark was to take a picture of his whole class, and let's say there's 30 people in the class. If each of them was to tag themselves in the picture, each of them has an average of 300 people. So you can do the maths yourself, but it's big numbers that potentially can see your brand. The best way to leverage that is to have a caption under the photo with a call to action. So it's find out more about our karate class and a link to the website, which obviously then neatly ties in to why you would then have a tracking pixel on the site so that new friends who come through and see it would then, you can be able to track them and deliver adverts to them. And the point of tracking them from your own website is that it drives the cost of your advertising down, because you're not competing with other people for those people, because obviously other people aren't competing for someone who's visited your site. So I'm going to kick it over to Stephen to talk about tracking pixels and all that fun stuff, and the Facebook advertising platform.
For sure. So for Mark and the people in our audience, if you've been in the show, you've heard me pound on this before. But Facebook Conversion Pixel, basically what this does, it allows you to put a pixel on your site so that anytime someone lands on your site, you can run an ad to them on Facebook. The other thing you could do is collect these people in an audience and target them with personalized content. I keep harping on it, and I'll continue to, but it's super effective. It's a great way to drive up your ROI and drive down your expenses. I did see that. I mean, you've got the visual content ready. Are you running any kind of ads at present, Mark?
Okay, so just a reminder, Mark's not got audio, so he's going to just type his replies. So just keep an eye on the chat as well.
For sure. Okay, boosting ads. So basically, you're not going into the back end in the ads manager and creating ads. You're boosting posts. You can just nod. Yeah. Okay. That's not a bad thing to do, but a better thing to do is to create ad sets. Essentially, this would be like taking, say, 5 of your classroom pictures, creating a target market, which would be the Isle of Wight, making sure that you've got profound copy, keep your kids safe or teach your kids to keep themselves safe. Have 5 different pictures, 5 different copy sets that communicate a message like that, and run those in a daily ad set to the good folks on the Isle of Wight. From there, you can establish your ROI model, so you'll know exactly how much you're spending to get each new student. And once you've got that, you just keep measuring and keep improving. And pretty soon, you're down to having your classroom sold out 24/7, and we'll have to find out what your critical mass is, because there is a number there. Out of curiosity, can either one of you, Lynn or Tristan, speak to the population of the Isle of Wight?
Yeah, 140,000.
Okay, so even 1% would 1% would be a good business. Do you think adding an advert pixel will annoy readers as somewhat invasive? Yes and no. If you're creating irrelevant content, then absolutely, it'll annoy the heck out of them. If you're staying within the framework of your goals, your content, and your targeting, you should only be hitting relevant people with information they're interested in. They've already expressed an interest. You're just going to retarget them with more of what it was they were interested in. And it's an easy peasy pass if they don't like it. But that's a great question, because you could target the heck out of people with stuff they don't care about and really do a brand damage. I don't think that's going to be the case here. Stephen, I would love to interview in 2016 via our forthcoming Winning Mindset Academy podcast. I would be humbled and honored. And thank you for that. So, are you on Twitter, Mark?
So Mark has got a Twitter, but it's not been like, it's something we're working with him on, improving the Twitter presence there as well. And
I'm ashamed I didn't come prepared for a dialogue about that. But everything we said about conversion pixels are also possible on Twitter. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of the conversion pixels for Twitter, because you don't know when they're going to fire. In other words, somebody could come to your site, but I have no way of knowing when they'll be served the promoted tweet.
Yeah.
Facebook will at least give you a glimpse of that data. So promoting tweets and targeting a market is great for branding. I do have a client that is, they're converting a lot on Twitter each month, according to Google Analytics. So it's still viable. It's just it's hard to measure. It's hard to measure and manage. If you're super social, because the martial arts community is just that, they're a ready-made community. Sunday just brought up a great point. Cost per user seems to be higher on Twitter, and I'll tell you, cost per user is about double under for me. But they're more targeted. For whatever reason, ads are being served better on Twitter than they are on Facebook in some cases. Shoot, what else? I had something else in mind for you. Okay, goals. Oh yeah, what are your goals? I should have opened up with that. Tristan, what are Mark's goals?
So obviously want to just make sure that there's consistent numbers, because obviously as people maybe graduate or as their circumstances change, you might get a change in numbers in the classes. So obviously it's to keep it, to keep those numbers kind of consistent, and make sure it's about making sure that Mark kind of stays there at the top in front of everyone for that kind of thing. And also reaching out, because some people might not necessarily know that that stuff is available. So just kind of getting it out to a slightly wider audience as well.
Sure. Okay. So what is his tipping point, or what's his breaking point, really? I mean, is he the only teacher that has to be in front of every class?
I think I can hear Mark. Mark, can you just say something?
Hello, Tristan. Can you
Yeah.
hear me?
Okay. Cool. We got audio.
Oh,
the
right.
audio's on. We're all good. That'll save some time.
Right. Okay. I didn't realise.
Okay. All good.
Hello, Stephen. Hello, Lynn.
Okay, so Mark's just put on the side there that the goal is an average of 130 students a week across all ages. So that's kind of the target numbers.
Okay, and that's 130. How many hours a day are you in the dojo?
I'm in the dojo 8 hours a week.
Okay, and is there anybody else in there teaching when you're not there?
Yes, yeah, they're constant classes. I have backup instructors.
Okay, all right. So we're not going to. What's the maximum number of students you can have at one time?
For children, for children, it'd be about 40, and for adults, teenagers, and adults, it'd be about 30.
Okay, and how many times a week are the students coming in?
We have 8 classes a week. Each class is of an hour.
So by those numbers, let's see. So
just while Stephen's doing that, Mark, is there? So someone's just asking, how many people teach with you? Is it just yourself, or is there other
No,
teachers?
I've got 5 backup instructors for when I'm not there and to run classes for me.
Okay.
So 8 classes a week, approximately 40 people in each class?
Yeah, it can be. It can go up to that.
Okay.
I mean, some people train twice a week. Some people train 3 times a week.
All right. So, wow.
I mean, at the moment, I'm not maxing out on classes. I mean, some of the classes are busier than others.
And it's safe to assume if you do get an influx that you can create other classes?
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay. So there can be a sense of urgency in your marketing, although I'm not a fan of the time-sensitive hurry-up. Classes are filling up, especially in a small town like the Isle of Wight. We want to be as friendly and accommodating as possible. But this is an easy peasy 2 to 3 hour setup for your social marketing. We can get way more advanced, and I think Tristan can really run with this. Get your conversion pixels up. I'm happy to walk you through that, or Tristan can. But we want to make sure that everybody on the Isle of Wight that's interested in self-defense, martial arts, personal security, health and well-being, physical fitness is aware of your brand. And then we want to see them trafficking into your dojo. Then we want to see them signing up. And then we want to see them rewarded in the social space so that they feel like they're a part of a community. And that's the place where in your customer your customer experience journey, you'll have pretty much your marketing will go all organic if you do that properly.
Okay.
So, Stephen, I'm just multitasking a little bit here. So did you want to talk Mark through how to find that tracking pixel and to get it implemented to the site, even if he doesn't get it done today, but talk him through the process of how to do it?
Yeah, for sure. So, Mark, on your Facebook page.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to see in the upper right-hand corner.
Let me just. Just logging into this.
That's all right. Take it down.
Yeah, I've got that.
Okay. Now, in the upper right-hand corner, you see a button that says Promote.
No, I haven't got that.
Okay, scroll all the way to the top of the page, because in the upper right-hand corner, across the top of your page, you should see Page, Messages, Notifications, Insights, Publishing Tools. Then there's a gap. Then it says Settings and Help.
Right, let me. Settings and Help. Yeah, I've got that.
Okay. Now, right under Settings and Help, there's a blue bar that says Promote.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, click Promote, and a drop-down window opens up.
Yeah.
Okay, go to the very bottom of this tab that just opened up where it says Go to Ads Manager, and click on that.
Yes.
Okay. Now, once this opens up, you're going to see across the very top, it says Manage Ads, Account Setting, Billing, Power Editor, and Tools.
I got billing. I haven't got that. I've got all campaigns, got billing. Got create advert billing.
Do you see Tools?
No, I don't.
I might have to hop on a screen share with you during the week, or Tristan can. It's possible that you don't have the same targeting settings that I have, and Sarah Moore had apparently run across this as well. We need to find the Tools bar in your Ads Manager. And normally right across the top, Manage Ads, Account Settings, Billing, Power Editor, and Tools. But do you see anywhere on that page where it says Tools?
No, not at the moment. I don't, Stephen. Just looking now. Got Ads Manager. No, filter.
Okay, I'm going to make a suggestion that if we can't find it, maybe we'll talk through the kind of strategy and process behind it, and then maybe Stephen, you and I can maybe link up a time where we can jump on a private screen share and maybe walk Mark through the actual implementation process. Yeah. So if we do that, so that Mark understands the how and why, and everybody else here as well, and then during the week we'll jump on and do a screen share. And we can do that. I've actually been on logged in on Mark's computer to get him set up, ready to jump in today. So we can do that quite easily.
Okay.
So if you just want to go through the process.
Well, again, everything we do is going to be speaking to your goals, your content, and your targeting. Pretty much nothing else. We'll keep it super simple. We'll do some unbelievable things from a simple place. Am I echoing?
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm mirroring you. I was just having another quick look.
Yeah, goals, content, and targeting.
Okay.
All right, so now we need to know what your goals are.
My goals, I suppose my goals are I'd like to be teaching about 130, 140 people a week. And my long-term goal is to be running the biggest classes on the island as opposed to others, and really making not making a living from it, but making sure that I'm comfortable and I'm having financial reward from it.
Sure.
You know, that's that. I mean, I've got other businesses I also run, but I'd like to make sure that I've got a longevity in what we're doing.
Yeah, perfect. So our content, I think, right off should be student photos, students in action, and we should create ad sets out of that. Hang on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I've got the ad sets.
Okay, for some reason.
Probably is knowing how to do that. That's the main thing.
Yeah, what we'll do, Mark, is during the week we'll talk you through that process. So we'll show you how to create the ads and to do the tracking so that it's targeted to the right people. But we'll just kind of talk through the process now. Obviously, it's important that we get the content of what we're then going to roll out through the ads, because, you know, people celebrating a success in a karate class, or people, you know, action shots from a karate class, obviously is a much bigger attention grab than, you know, just you know, it's the content of how you advertise it is as important as what you're saying. So we'll just discuss through that, and obviously that doubles up, as well as your kind of paid advertising that you're going to deliver. It's also great for all the organic stuff where you're going to be posting images to your social media platforms so people see them and then engage, which will obviously, they'll complement each.
Yeah.
So yeah, Stephen, do you want to just talk through the process of how we're going to go through like customer acquisition? So the whole, because I suggested to Mark, when we start out organically, we put the photos up with links that drive them to the website to see more, because then they get the tracking pixel where you can then deliver them the adverts. So if it's someone who's seen a good photo of their friend and come through the website, obviously then you could deliver them an advert that says, you know, depending on which class they've looked at, even if they looked at the beginners page, then you could deliver a specific advert to them around that.
Sure. Generally with educational programs, smart money is on doing a freemium to your website traffic. So in other words, we would create an audience based on everyone that's visited your website and have an ad set that says, hey, we would love to offer you a free class. Just come in, no obligation, see if you like it, and you're done. That's your bad echo. That's your conversion pixel ad set.
Okay.
To everyone else, they're going to have an ad set that shows students in the class and speaks to your community, whatever the language of your community is. You know, teach your kids to keep themselves safe, worried about bullying, you know, physical fitness, whatever your branding message is, and maybe have 5 of those ads in another ad set. So everything I've just said, to run on autopilot, you can do for as little as $10 a day.
Right.
We track how many students are signing up, and you've got your ROI model.
Okay, well, I do track them anyway, that I do get some, but yeah, no, it's just something that I need to get, and I spoke with Tristan on it. Tristan knows what we're looking at, or what the idea of what we're here for today.
Perfect.
Yeah. So I mean that whole process, like Stephen said, is the whole market is not just people who are necessarily looking for karate. It's like Stephen said, even touching on to making people there. It's just about making people safer as well. So there's kind of different kind of people that you can bring to that. So different kind of audiences that you would bring to that.
Right.
And obviously the way that you'll bring them in would be different for the adverts that we deliver would be different based on where they're coming from, what kind of people we're targeting. So. Yeah,
no, that's good.
There is a huge martial arts community in the UK.
There is, and I'm a big part of it, and thankfully we can grow it on the Isle of Wight. I've been doing a lot, even just with the basic adverts on Facebook. I've picked up a lot, but it's just tracking and making sure that I'm in people's faces.
Well,
I mean, Mark has actually been. We had a giggle on the phone the other day when I asked Mark how long he'd been doing this, and he has been actually doing the karate classes for a long time. Mark's exact words were, "How long have you been alive?" So that gives you an implication of how long he's been doing karate classes. So I really want to help Mark position himself right up there, and even to the point that, you know, people might even consider coming to the Isle of Wight to see what the karate class is about, because there is a potential that that could happen if you're positioned well enough and enough people are talking about it. I mean, you're a short ferry trip from a whole another audience of people who could come over if you're positioning yourself in that field as being an expert, and with the kind of length of time you've been doing it, Mark, I think that that's definitely something we can look at when we push through that advertising side.
That's right. We started in 1984.
Wow.
Long time. I had hair then.
Yeah. Yeah, I was 3. So do you, Mark, just so that we're clear on while we're on the show, do you understand the whole process of, we're going to start with the people that you've already got, so that we're going through the organic side of it, where we're putting pictures of them so that they get your brand in front of their friends and their kind of people that they know, through the photos with links that take them to the website, because then when the other people go there, so their friends will go to the website, then it will allow you to then put adverts in front of them, because they've come to your website, they're obviously shown an interest. So the point is, it's more relevant to those people because they've gone to your site already. They've already expressed an interest without having to say anything. And this is the beauty of what you can do now compared to what you could do maybe 10 years ago, is you know that person's interested because they've been to your website. So now let's go to them rather than just blanket market to everybody, which is kind of what's been done up until this point.
Yeah.
So we really want to get you targeted to the people who are already interested.
Yeah.
And then I think it would take a long time to exhaust that audience, but when you get to the point of exhausting that, we can look at reaching out to people who are specifically looking to maybe even within the workspaces, people wanting to make their staff feel safer, or schools that wanted to get you to come in and do stuff for their pupils. So they might even do it the other way, where Isle of Wight Karate starts offering services to people as a facilitator, rather than being the other way. So then that becomes a whole nother entity.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah.
Let me hit the pause button for a second. No, you said that you thought it would take a long time to exhaust that audience. It doesn't. It happens. You can exhaust for a small town audience like that pretty fast. Here's where lookalike audiences come into play. Because you can create 2 or 3 lookalike audiences to that pixel traffic, geo-targeted, and essentially you'll have the same people who, according to Facebook, by their behavior, are probably going to come to the site at some point on the Isle of Wight, and that's your new audience. They haven't seen your brand yet, but you have a chance to make that first touch, with equal probability of finding you anyway.
Okay, no, that sounds good. Looking forward to setting that up.
Cool.
So I think the next step now, obviously, because we need to walk you through the physical process, because the first thing is getting those tracking pixels in place so that we can track who's looked at what on the site, so that you can deliver them the most relevant adverts. So you might have a general one that runs on the site, and then you might also have one that's specific to your beginner's class page, or one that's your intermediate class page, things like that, so that you can deliver the most relevant advert to those people. But I think what we'll do is, after the show, we'll connect again, Mark. I know it's late, so maybe it'll be another day, but we'll connect and we'll talk about when's a good time for yourself, me and Stephen to jump on, and we can actually do a screen share and actually walk you through that process.
Oh, that'd be good.
So that you can get, because once you get those tracking pixels set up, you'll start seeing your audience kind of numbers grow, and then you'll be able to say, okay, we'll roll some adverts, and you'll start seeing the engagement and how that works. And obviously, once you start seeing it, it becomes a little bit addictive. I think Stephen will contest that. Once you start doing it and seeing results, you'll just want to do more things and work out how you can do run other ads and run different bits to do that. So
okay, then no, that's good.
I'll tell you, when it hits, it's magical, and you just have to tweak it. When it doesn't, and you can't figure out why, it's the most frustrating thing on the planet.
Okay, no, that's great, Stephen. No, I look forward to catching up on that.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm being conscious of people's time as well. So I know that we're kind of coming to the end of where we normally do the 45 minutes on the end of the show. And obviously I know it's getting late for both my mum and Mark over there in the UK as well. And obviously we're going to do a sit down and a talk through at another time to actually physically put that in. But I hope, Mark, that you felt that you got like a bit of clarity in where we're going to go next with it, and then we'll take the actual action steps for implementing that on that screen share that we're going to organize.
Yeah.
So again, thanks to everybody who was here live. Thanks to Stephen for giving some clarity in the best way to go about delivering that. Thanks for Mum for coming in and looking ever so lovely on camera for us again, and organising, and also for doing such a good job of running the business over in the UK for us, with a whole host of members there, which we're hoping to bring more and more of them into this community, so you get to meet them as they join up over here, and I'm sure you'll be seeing a lot more of them. So thanks a lot to Mum, thanks to Stephen, thanks to Christy, who works hard behind the scenes for us every week. Thanks to Mark for coming on, jumping on and taking the plunge to get involved in a new platform to learn and push his business forward. And I look forward to helping you more in the week. But as we say each and every week, we're here. If you've got any business questions during the week, you can connect with myself and Stephen and Christy over on Twitter. If you just use the hashtag #in4you, so that's IN4YOU, in any business questions on Twitter throughout the week, Stephen and I will pick those up and we address them at the beginning of the show each week. We'll pick in a couple of questions that we've had during the week, address those before we go into a help session or a Q&A that we run every week. So every week it's here at blab.im/ATW networking. They are recorded, so you can come back and you can watch the replays here as well. Thanks a lot for your time, guys.
Thank you.